Well, hello my friends and happy Saturday. It is the 19th of September. It is a Saturday and I have the day off work. Actually I have the whole weekend off of work and I'm so happy about it. I haven't had a weekend off in, I think it was 9 weeks. I was going through my diary the other day and yeah, 9 weeks of working every weekend, and then finally having a weekend off is the best feeling in the world. So I am making the most of having a couple of days to myself and I'm going to do some sewing. I haven't done hardly anything in my sewing room over the last couple of weeks, mainly because I've just been working a lot and I also haven't been very well. Don't worry, it wasn't coronavirus. I actually had a really bad chest infection, which also then kicked off my asthma, so I just was not in any mood or any sort of state to vlog. So now I'm kind of feeling better and back to my old self. We're going to do some sewing. I'm going to reunite with my sewing machine. I'm actually starting a new project. I know I shouldn't be doing that. I've just started a new project with my little scrappy squares up there. That's all I've done so far. Wow, it looks really good on the camera. I've only done recently just, I think, 2 purple blocks and that's it. That's all I've done in like the last 3 weeks. So really haven't done anything, but the new project we're starting is something very, very special and it won't take that long, hopefully, because I need to do it really quite quick. And it's for a very special person or people. Let's go people. But one of my friends from high school is having a baby and she is due in like 3 weeks. I was like, crap, I haven't made her a quilt yet, because I make everyone quilts. I love making baby quilts and, you know, they're just one of the best things to make. If you're one of those people who watched my Everyday May series, you may remember me showing you a bumblebee pattern that I was going to do for that. It's actually up there. Can you see that little bumblebee there? There's a block up there. Just this, I know it's really hard to see, but I was going to make that quilt, but it's just going to take way too long to make because it's really quite a fiddly block. So I'm not going to do that because I don't have the time. So I'm going to make something really, really simple, really, really quick. And I was inspired by a quilt that I saw on Instagram. It's by a quilter that I didn't follow because I just sort of searched Flying Geese quilts on Instagram. And I found this one and I thought it was just absolutely perfect because I wanted something that was really simple, quick, and had like a neutral palette, because my friend and her husband, they don't know what they're having as far as I know. So I wanted to keep it neutral, really simple, really classic, really sweet, and really quite modern and fresh because that's kind of like her vibe. So I found this quilter. Her name is Emily. She's in America and she does amazing quilts, like seriously, just beautiful stuff. So that's the kind of vibe we're going for. Nice neutral sort of palette, really quick and simple, but super effective. If you're interested in following this quilter on Instagram, Emily, I'll put her Instagram handle down in the description below if you'd like to follow her. She does amazing quilts and I'm just so inspired by just the amount of quilts she makes, which is just crazy. So I'm very much inspired by her quilt. And so the other day on, was it Monday or Tuesday? I can't remember when I went to Spotlight. The 15th. Was Monday. No, it was Tuesday. So on Tuesday I went into Spotlight because it was the last day of our 40% off all quilting fabrics sale. So I was like, oh my gosh, I better get in and buy some fabrics for this quilt. I did pull a couple of fabrics from my own stash. I just got these ones, just some really nice neutral colours with a little bit of yellow. And then from Spotlight, I'd been eyeing up a couple of fabrics that I thought were just absolutely perfect. So I'm excited to show you them. Wow, we haven't done a Spotlight haul in ages. Ready? Spotlight haul. Woo. I haven't bought fabric in a very long time, so it was just an amazing moment that I went in and bought fabric and spent a lot of money on the thing that I love. I also brought, which I think is the perfect backing for my scrappy quilt up here. I think it's going to look really good. I think it's quite perfect, but I'll show you that in a second. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. And then I also have a couple of other fabrics that I've just been sort of like eyeing off and I just think are delicious, and I'll show you them too. But first, the fabrics I brought for Sam's baby's quilt. So my friend, her name is Sam, so this is for her baby. So I got those fabrics, and the fabric that I was inspired by initially was this one here. This one's going to be for the backing, and it's just a really nice simple print. It's like a dot slash print, really nice neutral color, and I think that's going to look so nice as a backing. And then I just sort of got some, how many more times can I say neutral, but I just got some really nice neutral sort of colors that I didn't think were going to be too, you know, and they're not sort of floral, but even though I've said that, a couple of them are floral. But anyway, I also just got some solid white fabric for like the backing fabrics. So then the prints that I've got for the quilts, I got just a couple of fat quarter pieces. So one with like little cute little bees, and then this one's just like a weird type of spirally print. I was really just going for the colour, a little bit of texture. I actually didn't realise that I had more of that one, so I actually bought some more of this fabric that's got like little white crosses on it. So I got more of that when I really didn't need to, but that's okay. It's a fabric that I'll always be able to use. Then I got this one with little bees on it. This is actually an organic cotton fabric, which I thought was pretty cool. So this one is another bee fabric, but it's super tiny little bees. So they're really itty bitty bitty. So I got those two for bees. And then the other two, they do have flowers on them, but they're not like intense florally thing. I think once they're cut up and sort of blended within everything else, you can't really quite tell. They're not girly or anything like that, but we got this one here with a nice lovely wattle print. This is from the Jocelyn Prowse range that we sell, and it's just a really nice neutral colour, again with little pops of yellow. And then this one here, this is kind of like, this is pretty intense. It's actually not as like intense as this, and it does look like on the camera. But I thought this was just sort of like a nice sort of one that might kind of like just stand out a little bit, just to have like your eye sort of just be captured by little pops of this one. So that's kind of the palette we're going for. So yeah, just some nice little pops of yellow. Once we sort of mix and match them all together, they won't be too like intense. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. And then having this one as the backing, I think for a binding, I'll possibly just bind it in just white. Just super simple, really nice, nice and classic. Or I can bind it with this one with the little crosses on it. Oh, we'll see. We'll see when we get there. And then quickly moving on to the other fabrics I got. It's just another three. This is the fabric that I got for the backing for my my Scrappy Plus quilt. How cool is that? I thought it would look awesome because it's colourful. It kind of has that grid crossy type design. So let's sort of like, yes. Can you see? It's going to look really cool. I mean, obviously I haven't done the blue and the green bit yet, but I think that's going to be super, super cool. So I'm very excited to sort of get back into that one and get it finished. But Baby Quilt is the priority at the moment. And then the last two fabrics are ones that I've just sort of been eyeing off for ages, and I just wanted to get and add to my stash because they're super pretty. Again, they are ones by a designer that Spotlight is using at the moment. She's an Australian textile designer. Her name is Jocelyn Prowse. These two fabrics are part of her range that is at Spotlight, and they're just so beautiful. All of her prints have an Australian native type theme to it. Ones with animals, I mean like wombats, koalas, kangaroos, all that sort of stuff. And then also like the flora and fauna that is Australia. This one here we've had for a couple of months, and I actually got the rest of the roll because I just love it so much. I just love the colours and it's just so pretty. And then this one's just all over leaf. That's pink. So anyway, that is my quick little fabric haul. You all know how much I love fabrics, and just buying that and just hoarding it just makes me so happy. And yeah, it's the little things, the little things. So what I'm going to do first, okay, so so before I get into pressing and ironing, oh, is that the same thing? Pressing. Okay, so before I get into pressing my fabrics, getting them nice and lovely and prepped before cutting all of my pieces out, I wanted to let you know the method that I'm using. I'm going to be doing the No Waste Flying Geese block, which I know that Jenny in the Missouri Quilt Style Company, I'm saying it like I know her, I don't. She does this method a lot, and a lot of people suggest this method to me when I'm doing flying geese. So I'm like, oh, let's finally like give it a go and see what it's like. The pattern that I'm using is by another YouTuber. Her name is Melanie Ham, and she did a YouTube tutorial a couple of years ago, and so I'm just sort of following her method, and I'm also using the same measurements that she used in her tutorial. I sort of thought that was like a perfect size. So I'm gonna give it a go. You're gonna watch me try it out and I'll let you know how we go. I'm pretty excited. By doing it this way, I can essentially get 4 flying geese block done kind of like at one time, and that's what I was sort of really looking for. I really needed to find like a block or a quilt pattern design that was quick, and I'm sort of going to get a lot out of what I'm doing like in a short space of time, if that makes sense. So I thought that this method would be the best. But before we do that, we need to press everything, cut it all out, and get going. I haven't figured out how many sort of like squares and things I need to cut. I might start with maybe cutting out two squares from each color, and then all of my smaller squares from my white background fabric, and then see how we go. But yeah, it possibly didn't make any sense at all. I don't know whether that made sense to me, even though I'm saying it, but I'll explain it more as we go along, and we'll see how we go. So happy Saturday to everyone, including myself. Let's get into making a lovely baby quilt. I love making baby quilts. Yay! Right, so all of the pressing is done, all of the cutting is done, and I've also done one block here, as you can see, just to make sure I've got the technique down right and the measurements that I have chosen right. I've actually decided to make it bigger than what I mentioned. If I was going to do 3x6, then they would have been really tiny, and I would have had to have done a lot more than what I really want to. So instead, I've decided to make them a little bit bigger so I don't have to make as many, so then I can also get this done quicker. So here's all my fabric cut. This square here is 9.5 inches, and then I've cut a nice lovely little pile of 5-inch squares. So by cutting these squares at that size, it will give me enough space for seam allowance. So as you can see on my lovely little flying geese, I've got a gorgeous 1/4-inch seam here. These did need trimming just to make sure that they were finishing at the correct size, but I'm very happy with them. So it is 2:20. I'm going to now just get in and sew and see how many I can do this afternoon. Hopefully I can have like a full wall just full of flying geese by the end of the afternoon, so then I can maybe piece it together tomorrow. that's kind of the plan. So now I'm actually going to show you how to do this technique. Majority of you possibly already all know how to do it because you're always suggesting that I should try it this way. But for those of you who have never heard of this method before, you're new to quilting, new to sewing, and you want to see how it works, then I'm going to show you. To make the no waste Flying Geese blocks, you'll need a square of your background fabric. Like I just mentioned, I've cut mine at 9.5, and then you'll need 4 5-inch squares, and I've just marked a lead pencil line right down the middle on all 4. I'm going to pop my first one in the top corner, just making sure it's nice and even along the sides, and then the next one in the opposite corner, like so, nice and even with the line going right through. I'm gonna put a pin in the middle of each one so that they stay in place, and then I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch seam down this side of the line, and then a 1/4 inch seam down this side of the line, and then we're going to cut it in half. Now that I cut it in half, I'm sort of left with this kind of triangle part with 2 triangles on the side. We're going to press this open. Now that our like little love heart shape that we've made is all pressed, we're going to take another 5-inch block and put it down in this corner. Make sure it's nice and even along the sides, and with that diagonal line going all the way through up to here. Then I'm going to pin and then do another 1/4 inch seam on either side. I'll do that for both. Last seams have now been sewn, and we're going to get the ruler and the blade and cut it in half down the line on either side, and then we'll have our flying geese done. We've got to press them, of course, and then trim them, and then they'll be done. So they're all nice and pressed. Isn't that amazing how just that one piece of fabric can produce 4 flying geese blocks so quickly? So I should definitely have this done in no time. I do still need to just trim them up so that they're nice and sort of perfectly square and trim. Other than that, it's just so quick to do. I'm going to now set myself all up. I need to put some more water in my iron because there's no steam coming out of that. And I also have a nice big jar full of chocolates. It was my birthday on Thursday, and I am now in possession of a lifetime supply of chocolate, and I could not be happier. So I'm going to munch away on my birthday chocolates. I also think I might have to make a cup of tea as well. I'll put some good music on and then just get sewing. What a lovely, lovely way to spend a Saturday afternoon. Happy. Good afternoon, my friends, and happy Monday. It is the 21st of September. I really need to learn to look at the date before I start vlogging. But yeah, it is Monday the 21st of September, and look what I managed to do over the weekend. How awesome does it look? I'm so happy with that. I'm going to move this a little bit further away, but I think that looks so good. Oh, I'm so happy. This is exactly what I want it to look like. Lovely and neutral and natural and just lovely and sweet. And I have to say, doing the quick flying geese method that I did was really, really quick and really, really simple, and I am definitely going to try and use that technique more often in the future when I need to make flying geese. At the moment they're all just up on my design wall. I now just have to piece them all together to finish the quilt top, and I think, depending on how much I feel like doing today, because it's actually quite a warm day for September. It's going to be like 30 plus today, which is quite warm. I think in September we average like low to mid 20s, so to be up in the early 30 degrees in September is quite warm. So depends on that. I'm going to finish the quilt top today, piece it all together, and then either today or tomorrow, or even Thursday. I'm thinking possibly Thursday, because Thursday is another day off for me this week. We'll get it quilted. I don't know how I'm going to quilt it yet. I'm still waiting for that sort of burst of inspiration to hit me. I think, as usual, it'll be obviously straight line quilting, because that's what I love to do. But what sort of design, I don't know yet. I want it to be quite simple, quite easy. Again, I'm really trying to get this done quite quickly, so we'll see. Like I did on the weekend, I'm going to set myself all up. I'm going to pop on some good music, and we will get this all pieced, ready to do some basting. That is another thought I just had. I don't know whether... oh yeah, no, I have enough basting spray. I kept meaning to check, but I do have enough. I should definitely have enough for this quilt, and I do have enough batting, which is good. The other decision I made while I was sewing, because usually when I'm sewing or piecing like the blocks together, I usually like to think about the backing and the quilting and the binding, just sort of bringing it all together. I haven't quite figured out the quilting, as I just mentioned, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to use this cross pattern, you know, the one with the little white crosses. I'm going to use this for the binding, just to give another layer of texture and a neutral sort of colour to the front and also the back of the quilt. And this fabric that I'm using for the backing, it's just perfect, and I'm so happy that it was sort of like the catalyst that started my inspiration for this gorgeous little quilt. And yeah, I think my friend Sam and husband are really going to like it. Hopefully. I don't know. Bye. So I know it doesn't look like any different, but it's now all pieced together and it looks really good. I'm super happy with it. I was really worried that a lot of the pieces weren't quite going to fit, because my trimming of the actual like rectangles, because they're a rectangular shape, they weren't exactly perfect, but it actually pieced together, and all of the sort of points and things nested together a lot better than what I was expecting. However, there are a few little points that didn't quite match, just a little bit out, but that's okay, because gorgeous little points like this and perfectness like that and perfect little points like this and nesting here totally makes up for it. But as you guys are always telling me, take 5 steps back. You can't tell where all the mistakes are. It just looks really sweet and lovely, and I'm really happy with the results. So the time is it's almost 2 o'clock, so I'm gonna have some lunch and I'm gonna mull over how I think I'm going to quilt this. I think I'm going to do a little bit of research on Instagram and Pinterest for some really simple ideas and go from there. I'm not going to baste it yet. I'll baste it once I know how I'm going to quilt it. I think that's a good thing. I mean, the only reason why I'm saying that is because I'm a hard procrastinator when it comes to basting. You all know this, so any excuse not to baste, I'll take it. So I'm going to wait until I figure out how I'm going to quilt it before I baste it. Happy days! I feel really relieved and happy, because I haven't felt this inspired and happy about a sewing project in a long time, because I just haven't had the time to do anything. I haven't had the inspiration, I haven't had the energy, I haven't had the mental space to come in here and be creative and make something, and I just love it. I just absolutely love having this amazing skill that I can take a flat bit of fabric and make it into something like this. It's just, I just love it. I love how I have this amazing skill, and every time I make something new, my skill is getting better. I am learning something new all the time. It's just such a great thing to really just chill out in, and to just meditate on. Like when I'm sewing, I'm always, I don't want to say meditate, but I'm always just thinking about thoughts and just processing everything and processing life, and like it's just a really great way to de-stress and just put everything into perspective. And while I'm doing that, I'm making a beautiful thing for a beautiful friend of mine for her baby. And so yeah, to be able to have that skill and to share that skill and to make something beautiful for someone is, yeah, just makes my day. It's amazing just how much sewing and patchwork and quilting is so great for your mental health and also for creativeness. It's just such a wholesome hobby to do, and yeah, I just really love it. I just really love it. Let me know if you feel the same way, because I know that a lot of you out there share the same sort of love and passion that I do for sewing and quilting, no matter how sort of geeky or ridiculous it might seem to other people who don't get it. But for us who are really quite hardcore and passionate about this kind of thing, I know that you're totally nodding in agreement and are right there with me. So yay for quilting, happy days. I'm really happy that this is coming together, and I just love it, and I really hope that Sam loves it and she's able to really use it for her gorgeous little baby coming. Hello puppy. Oh, what's she gonna sit all the way over there for? Here we go. Here we go puppy. Well, good morning and happy Monday. Today is the 28th of September and it's Charlie's birthday today. He is 4 years old today. So we're out in the sun. It's a lovely Monday morning, and I have a present for him to open. I got him this. There's an Australian company called Ollie's Box, and they have this thing called a Bark Day box. Don't know what's in it. I haven't opened it yet, but we're going to discover it together. He's off chasing the birds, so hopefully he'll come back and have a look. Charlie! Come over here and have a look at this. Should I have a look? Come here. Now sit down though. Sit down. Can I have a look at the box? Excuse me, sir. You need to sit down. Come here. Sit down. Good boy. Ready? We're going to have a look and see what's in here. So, you want to have a look? Ooh, what's in here? Ooh, what have we got? Okay, wait. Oh. Ooh. What is it? Okay, alright. Shall we have a look first? Ooh. There's some fun things in here. Isn't there, puppy? Alright, what have we got first? Beef and liver. Treat thingies. Nice. They look good. We can't have them just yet. And then we've got some natural something, lemon brown rice treats again, I think. Oh, they smell good? Yeah, they smell good. Oh, and look, we've got lots of toys. You need some more toys, don't you? What have we got in here? I don't know what this is. What's that? What do you think that is? It is a poop bag dispenser. Oh, we need one of them, don't we? Yeah, when we start doing some walks. Okay, we'll put that one there. Oh, look at these fun toys. We've got this thingy. Oh, the world's coolest pet gear. Oh, good boy. It's like a ball, isn't it? Bounce and fetch. It can float, and we can put a treat in it. Oh, okay, I'll open it up in a minute. Look at these. Who wants it? I'm not sure whether I'll be able to open it, mate. You gotta sit down. Good boy. Oh. Okay. Good boy. Oh, he's taking it. He loves balls. Nice. We also have another treat thing. You put treats in there. And I'm supposing they sort of try and have to get it out. A stuffable treat dispenser designed for endless fun. And then we have a soft toy. Oh, I'm not sure about soft toys. Oh, it squeaks. Oh. What do you think, Charlie? It's a little hippo. He's not all that great with soft toys. I'm not sure how long this will last, because anything that's soft and stuffed, it won't last. You've already got one thing, you need this thing too. I think this is going to be an indoor toy, so we can watch you. Does that sound good? Yeah? You can give him a sniff. You can have this one when you come inside. Oh, good boy. Well, I'm very impressed with that. I think for the money I paid for it, I'm pretty much paying just for all the toys. But, very good. Where's your ball? Go get your ball. Get your ball. Go get it. Your ball. Go get it. Good boy. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. I know how much you all love the Charlie boy. We're like 95% sure that today is his actual birthday, because that's what was on his official records when we adopted him from the pound. Today could be his actual birthday. It might not be his actual birthday, but we are treating today as his birthday. We actually have his birthday engraved on his little dog on his little name tag that's on his collar. The big Charlie boy is 4 years old today. We got him when he was about 6 months, and yeah, he is just the most adorablest thing ever. He's just over there in the shade playing with his ball. He loves it. I'm so happy about that. So today is going to be hopefully a productive day. I'm going to try and do more of the baby quilt I'm making for my friend Sam for her baby. The goal for the end of the day, I am hoping to have it at the point where I'm binding it, where I start binding it by hand, which means today we need to baste it, which is like my least favorite thing to do. We gotta quilt it and then sew the binding on, ready to hand sew it onto the back. I am 99% sure of how I'm going to quilt it. I'm not going to do anything too crazy or new. It's just going to be a really basic, simple quilting pattern. I mean, I'll show you when I get up to it. The way that I'm deciding to quilt it, I think it's not going to take all that long. It'll be quite simple and easy. What are you sitting over there for? Come here. Come here, birthday boy. Come on. Bring your ball too. Come on. Good boy. You're going to come sit here. Don't psych me out. Come here, puppy. Charlie. Come here. Come on. Come on. I'm not going to take it. He thinks I'm going to take the ball. I'm not going to take your ball, mate. Oh, he just wants to play with it. Happy birthday to the Charlie boy. Let's get into doing this quilt. I'm very, very excited about it. I've been thinking about it all weekend because I've been at work all weekend and all I've wanted to do was do this quilt. So now we have the time to do it. Let's do it. Here's the birthday boy with his ball. You like it, mate? It'd be even better if you let me put some treats in it. Yeah, it would. It'll be so much nicer. Can I have it? No? He's like, nah. Alright then, we're back inside and I've sort of half basted my quilt here, but before I actually start spray basting it, there's something I want to show you. I don't think I actually shared this with you in a vlog. I can't really remember. So this particular thing that I have here in front of me, I recently built, and at the moment it's kind of in the way because I need the space on the floor to be able to baste my quilt, and I can't because it's here on a table and I need to move it. I do have a place for it to go. It's going to go on top of our piano. I've just made a place there for it, but I thought before I actually move it, I'll show you what it is because it's very exciting and I absolutely love it. It just looks amazing. So you all know how much of a Disney fan I am. I am currently wearing a Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse shirt, and I absolutely love everything about Disney. So I very much treated myself to the Disney Lego castle, It wasn't the most cheapest of things. It was very much a indulgent purchase. I worked very hard for it, saved very hard for it, and I absolutely loved making it, and it just looks amazing. So here it is. Ta-da! Nice. I've just put this screen in behind it because I've just taken some photographs for my Disney Instagram account, and I didn't want like the weird bookshelf in behind it in the background, so that's why that is there. But I am so happy with how it turned out. Here are some little figures at the front. We've got Donald, Daisy, Mickey and Minnie, and then up the top there is Tinkerbell. There are so many tiny gorgeous little details in this castle, such as at the front there's a little Princess and the Frog theme going on here. Down in behind here we have Merida's arrow and target and little cakes. Tinkerbell flying at the top. And then when we turn it around to the back, we have all of this amazing Disney detail. Here in the corner we have the magic carpet and the genie's lamp from Aladdin. Up here is the kitchen from The Little Mermaid, and it just has so many tiny little details in it. Here we have Beauty and the Beast, so we have the Beast's rose and the candelabra. So this is supposed to be Lumiere. Under this little turret actually comes out, we have Cinderella's slipper in there. Can you see that? And then we have this little book, has the little Disney castle on it. And then when you open it, it says Once Upon a Time. Really sweet. Moving up here, we have a nod to Fantasia. So we have Mickey's sorceress hat. There's another little book in here. And then we have two little brooms and all of the buckets. Up here is Sleeping Beauty's bed. Very sweet. And then we also have her spinning wheel just here. And up the top in this little chest, we have a brush, scissors, and a little piece of black sort of hair. This is for Rapunzel. And then all the way at the top here, we have the things for Snow White. So we've got the little glass with the poison in it and the apple, and then the magic mirror. So this castle took me about 3 days to build, and that was 3 sort of full-on days. Like I had the days off work, so I just sat down and made it, and it was some parts were tricky, but all over it was actually a really quite easy, simple build. There was lots of pieces. For any of you who are curious, in the book it says that this is the castle from Walt Disney World, so it has like all the details in the book here about the castle. I'm super happy with it. I'm really sad that I finished building it because I just really loved building it. It was lots of fun. So now it's time for it to go up on the piano and be a talking point for people when they come into our house. Okay, so we have come to the time to start quilting. I've set the machine all up. I've changed my foot to a walking foot. My bobbin is full. The machine is threaded. I'm leaving the stitch length on just 2.5. I think I just want a really nice sort of delicate stitch. So I don't want to have it too long or anything like that. So I think 2.5 should be fine. The quilt has been basted, and I've also just pressed it here on the ironing board just to get out any of those last little wrinkles and lumps and bumps and things. So we are now ready to quilt. Because this quilt is so small, I don't think it's going to take me all that long to quilt, which is very exciting. So I'm just going to get started, and I'll update you as I go along, and we'll see how much we can get done. Hopefully all of it. Fingers crossed. I think we should do it. quilting is all done. It didn't take that long. It went really quick. All I've done is just 2 lines down each of the seams just to get this nice sort of grid type effect. I've done this before on many quilts, but it's just a nice, easy sort of quilting technique, and I really like the effect of it. For the binding, I've decided to go with the same as the backing. I thought it would look better than just having just the plus one that I showed you before. I think this one will just frame it off really nicely. So what I'm going to do next is just trim off all of the ugly bits from around the edge. I do that so then I have a nice, lovely, straight, neat sort of edge to follow with the edge of my binding. And then once I've done that, we will clip it into place with these, and then I've hit the goal that I wanted to hit from this morning, and that is to, by the end of the day, have it up to the point where I can hand sew the binding to the back. So yes, productive day. Very happy with how far we've got, but we're not there yet. Let's get this binding done, and then I'll be a happy girl. Good evening, happy Tuesday. It's 29th of September and it's almost 8 o'clock in the evening. It's 7:45 and I have just finished sewing the binding on my lovely baby quilt here. I spent most of the afternoon sewing all of the binding to the back of the quilt and I'm so happy with the result. It looks so sweet and it's just perfect. It is absolutely everything that I envisaged for this quilt. I haven't done a label for it yet, mainly because I don't know what kind of label to make yet. Like usually I do hexy flower labels, it's kind of like my signature, but it's just going to look a little bit odd on this quilt, I think. I don't know. And then I was thinking about maybe doing a nice embroidered label like I did for my nephew Lucas's quilt. And then I've also done an embroidered label for my mum's quilt for Mother's Day in May. I did an embroidered label for my friend Aisha's quilt when I did her swoon quilt for her. Yeah, I've done lots of embroidered labels, so I don't know whether to do one as well for this quilt. I'm still sort of like thinking about what I should do about a label because I am a little bit limited on time, as I have mentioned. I'm at work for the next 3 days. I do have the weekend off, which is always a yay, but I'm going to show you the quilt because I've just been talking so much about it. Can you see there? Yeah, here she is. La la. Oh, it's a bit shadowy. Bring it up a little bit closer. But here we go. The lighting in here is not all that great. As I showed you yesterday, I did the binding the same as the backing and I think it's just perfect. It just blends in so well with all the neutral colours on the front. Yeah, it just doesn't look too complicated or too busy or anything like that. So yeah, it's a really small little baby quilt. It measures just about a meter by a meter, I think, maybe just a little bit more than that, so that's over a yard. I have a ruler here on my desk. I just have to move my mat out the way. So it's about a meter big, and I think in inches, for those of you who aren't very savvy with the metric system, meter measures, yeah, it's about 40 inches. 40 inches squared. So perfect little baby quilt, and yeah, I couldn't be any happier with it. So once I figure out the label, I am going to give it a wash because it is covered in dog hair, which is one of the bad things about Charlie. He just sheds like crazy, so anything that I do just gets covered in dog hair. So I'll make sure that it's washed and dried and is dog hair free before I send it out. Once I have totally finished this quilt, I will be taking a picture of it and I'll put it on my Instagram at 3 3/4 if you would like to see the finished result. I say that because I'm actually going to end the vlog here because I really want to get this vlog up because I haven't put anything on my YouTube channel since August, since I did Xavier's birthday cake, which just seems like an absolute lifetime ago. And in between Xavier's birthday and today, I've been sick, I've had a birthday, I've been working, we had Mum's birthday, just lots has happened and it's just crazy just how jam-packed the last month has been. It's been really crazy, but it is exciting that we are getting to the end of the year. I am beginning to think about Vlogmas. I will be doing Vlogmas this year, and I have been writing down some ideas and trying to find an advent calendar. I don't know whether to do a sewing calendar, or I am trying to source maybe like a tea advent calendar, so they have like different little teas you can try every day. It's all in the planning, it's all in the works. If you have any ideas of things you want to see during Vlogmas, I know I always say these things, I only do like half of them, but yeah, if you've got any ideas for me to do in Vlogmas, then let me know in the comments. I am always happy to consider them and try and sort of work them in. I am of course working throughout Vlogmas. I work retail, so retail during Christmas is always crazy. Good thing about, oh, this is another thing that happened during the time that I've had off, is my status at work has changed. I'm not casual anymore. I'm now on a contract, so I am part-time. So I have a scheduled fortnight, so I know what days I'm working, what hours I'm working, and it won't change. So I will be able to have a little bit more of a sort of precise schedule of things, and I know when I can do things and stuff like that. So yeah, that's a pretty good thing. If I wasn't working and YouTube was my full-time job, I would have loved to have done like a Christmas sew-along or quilt-along. That's like one of my big sort of like goals to try and do. I've always wanted to try and do a Christmas quilt-along of some sort. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do it this year because I just won't have the time. But yeah, any other sort of sewing things or crafts or traditions or anything like that. Do you guys want to see some more videos of doing crafts with Graham? I know that those videos go down really good. You guys love seeing Graham on the channel. But yeah, let me know what you would like to see during Vlogmas, because I am planning for it and yeah, trying to be a little bit more organized about things. But anyway, I'm rambling. I'm now going to spend the evening editing a little bit of this vlog. I'm going to try and get it out by the end of the week. So, fingers crossed, we'll get there. Sorry again for the radio silence, for just being so quiet on the channel, but life is busy. If there were more hours in the day, I would just dedicate every moment to doing YouTube, because I just love it. I love sharing my sewing adventures with you guys, and just like documenting it for my own sort of purposes. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you're all staying healthy and safe and just being kind and nice to people. I think it's what we really need in the world at the moment. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me in this vlog, and I hope to see you again very soon. Bye!